Lake County has a population of just 64,000 people. 75% white. 75% white. According to the Census Bureau. 75% white. 75% white. 75% white. According to the Census Bureau. But the percentage of minorities in the sheriff's department is even less. And then former officers say, ex-leaders say, racial profiling.
This is a good old boys network run amok. This is a good old boys network run amok. This is a good old boys network run amok. Is the Lake County Sheriff's Office.
They're targeting people that, just because of their color. It's
Ringen left the department after 27 years because of it. Racism is still there. Brian Landy left after a year and a half.
What I was being told here is that I see Mexicans.
Landy says racial profiling was part of his training and discrimination was commonplace.
On a daily basis, you would hear deputies refer to people they believe to be Mexican, whether or not true. Doesn't matter where they were from, but based on their skin color, they would refer to them generically as Jose's. It was not as kind of a friendly colloquialism in a derogatory way.
Dan Noyes from Channel 7. I need to please.
Lake County Sheriff Rodney Mitchell did not return repeated so we caught up to him as he headed to work one morning.
Good.
This is not the right location.
No, you didn't return our calls.
That's true.
Yeah,
you can follow me there.
Absolutely, we will. Thank you.
When we arrived at the sheriff, Mitchell told us he's launched an internal affairs investigation into the complaints.
Does the department have a problem with racism?
We have a problem with racism because that's a broad-based term. We have a problem with racism. Anytime you throw in an ism at the end of it is racism. But I'm not going to tell you that we have zero problems with any issues because we haven't finished our investigation.
The officers who spoke to the I-Team say Mitchell is sending the wrong message to his deputies.
Racism.
Take a look at the poster hanging outside the sheriff's office. A member of the San Diego Sheriff's Department is pressing the bloody face of a suspect into the pavement. The caption?
Racism.
Think about the consequences before you mess with a deputy sheriff.
I thought, this is Lake County, these guys are yahoos, obviously are not.
Nick Malloy is a public official from Lake County who went on a ride-along with the Lake deputy sheriff last year. He says he watched one sergeant treat Hispanic suspect.
And at that point, I just remember seeing a guy by the arm and kind of like pulling him up towards the truck to push him in half of the truck and slapping him on the back of the just like with another head.
If it is true, then the law enforcement officers should be held accountable, period. That would be highly inappropriate conduct if it's true.
Mitchell's own officers say the department often breaks the rules meant to prevent unwarranted seizures. DUI checks. Deputies are supposed to pull over cars.
Racism,
for example. But they say deputies would pull over everyone who appeared to be Hispanic.
I watched a deputy as a car was coming up, look into it, point at it, and say,
"Racism.
Here's a no licencia. We have a Jose."
That same night, several sources tell the I-Team officers arrested these 3 field workers for disorderly conduct involving alcohol and took them for what's called
racism
screen test.
They also stuffed all 3 individuals into the back of their patrol car, purposefully took corners or excessive speeds, and the brakes
hit brakes. So the men in the back of the patrol car would slam their faces into the screen in the front and back.
I heard it the very next day. They were bragging about it at the Lower Lake substation. How watching the Jose's squirm the car as they throw recklessly to the.
And the people in the back are quite uncomfortable bouncing around.
Did a current former member of my department tell you that?
Yes.
Please tell me who that is so that we can investigate that allegation.
Right.
That is a very serious issue.
Mitchell is facing other serious issues, including deputies being targeted by fellow officers disability, their sexual orientation, or their race.
Racism.
Those who complained about the conduct, we've heard reports of retaliation.
Racism.
Sergeant Kip Ringen told a superior about the slurs hurled at Francisco Rivera.
And tells him that I've been called, amongst other things, a wetback. 4 hours later, he is on administrative leave. They took his badge, they took his gun, they took his ID.
Is that how it happened?
Pretty much.
Racism.
Rivera and another officer have filed discrimination complaints with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. As a result, the Lake County Board of Supervisors ordered an independent investigation.
Any accusations of racial profiling and discrimination are concerning us as board supervisors.
Why?
Well, for one thing, it's against the law, and for another, it's county policy to treat them fairly with respect.
Should people be concerned actually driving through Lake County?
Yes. Yes. Unequivocally, yes. I am here because I have to be here. I have no choice. This has to stop.
It's not right, and citizens of Lake County deserve more than that.